Okay, so we have already covered the instruction on the sitting meditation as well as the walking meditation, which constitute the first two parts of the intensive Vipassana meditation retreat. Okay, so tonight we'll talk a little bit more about the daily activities, which forms the third part of the intensive retreat. Okay, we actually already touched a little bit on the daily activities in the last Dhamma talk, when we described how yogi after the sitting meditation, how he or she notes the activities that takes place immediately after the sitting meditation, as he open the eyes, get up and walk to the walking path in order to do the walking meditation. Okay. So tonight we'll talk there's a little bit more about that. So as we have mentioned, so the meditation on daily activities. Okay? So activities here include every single activities that is performed, that takes place, that occur outside of sitting and walking meditation. Okay, so every single thing. So you can imagine there's a lot of things included in meditation on daily activities. Okay? And all these activities, they should be contemplated, okay, with the same focus, the same intensity as you would during the sitting and walking meditation. Okay, so there's meditation, so you have to do it properly. Okay, it is daily activities is not something that you do to fill in your time in between walking and sitting. They are part of our practice. Okay, so part of the continuous practice throughout the day, continuous mindful noting. Okay, so you have to meditate on these activities seriously, with the same kind of focus, intensity, energy, as you do so during the sitting as well as walking meditation. Yeah. So most of these activities, they are physical activities, most of them. Okay, so for example, getting up from your seat, as we have mentioned the other day, as we have described the other day. Okay, not just getting up, sitting down. You know, after an hour of walking meditation, you want to walk back to your meditation seat. So, and then you sit down. So that also must be noted. So bowing. So when you bow in intensive retreat, you do a lot of bowing. So you bow to the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. You bow to the teacher. Every time you bow, you have to do so with mindfulness, with clear comprehension. Okay. Yeah, so meditation on bowing. Okay, so walking from one place to another. So as we mentioned the other day, you walk, you do a lot of walking during the daily activities. Okay, so especially if the retreat center is very huge, so you do a lot of walking. Here in Santi Sukarama, not so much walking. The most you walk from the other building to this building, and then from this building back to that building. and then you climb up the stairs. That's the most you do. But some retreat centers, you have to walk a lot. Like the Panditarama Center, the forest center near Yangon. Okay, so you have to walk like half an hour to reach our room. So so do a lot of walking. So each time when you walk, also you have to note carefully every single step. Yeah. So you have to focus your attention. Right step, left step, right step, left step. So meditate on the walking. Okay. So we focus intensity, energy. So it's part of the continuous process of meditation. Okay. And also, another thing you do a lot every day is opening and closing the door. So this also must be contemplated on. Okay. So other activities like bending, stretching the limbs. Okay? So you bend, you stretch. So this also must be contemplated. Okay? What else? During lunchtime in a retreat center, so sometimes there's lunch queue. So when you queue up also, don't be happy, finally I'm going to eat. So yogi is supposed to be mindful all the time. So as you're standing in the queue, so you stand there, you're not standing. You have to keep your attention within the body, not the standing posture. So even though your eyes, you can see, but you behave as if you are blind. You don't see. Even if you see, just seeing, that's all. Okay? Don't pay attention to what you see. Let's be aware that that is the experience of seeing. Just the bare experience of seeing. Okay? And when you move, and the person in front move, then you also move. As you move, also you move mindfully. That is like walking, right step, left step, right step. So when you see the food, you have to not seeing. Greed arise, not greed. If you're really noting properly, greed will not arise because seeing is just seeing. So when you want to take the, what do you call that, the scoop or the ladle, so you know intention, and then stretching out. When you touch, touching. When you want to grip, intention to grip, gripping. You want to take, bringing. I said bringing. So when you want to scoop, intention to scoop, stretching. So when you reach it, intention to scoop, then scooping. You have to pay attention to this physical process. It's a physical and mental process. So you have to observe carefully. Okay, so when you bring it forward to you, you have to note intention to bring, and then bringing. Intention to put, putting. So see, when you have to do all this, then you realize if you really do it properly, every day you do it, then after some time you realize it's really troublesome to eat. Especially if you do eating meditation, not just when you take the food in the lunch queue, when you take the food, the eating meditation, and see the food and not seeing. So intention to take, intention, stretching out, stretching. No, intention to scoop, scooping, intention to bringing, intention to open the mouth, opening, intention to put in, putting. So many steps, just to eat one morsel of food. That's not all. After that, that's taking out, and then you start munching, chewing. So there are hosts of activity going on. Often we just munch, finish, finish. You don't even realize, right? But if you're really mindful, then it's really very troublesome just to eat one morsel of food. But yet you have to do it. So this is part of nature of conditionality. You have a body that needs to be upkeep. So to upkeep it means you need to preserve the good condition of the body. It means you need to eat. So you need to eat properly. You need to make sure you get the right nutrition. And then the effort to eat. So all these things just to take care of the body. So you need to exercise also. You need to clean the body. This is all part of nature of the conditionality. This suffering due to conditionality. This is a kind, in a very gross form, this is a kind of sankhara dukkha. So suffering due to nature of being conditioned. So you have to upkeep all this good condition. You don't take care of the body. You see how after a few days, you don't bathe for a few days. What happens? Nobody wants to go near you. You also don't want to go near yourself. So, so when you slow down, you meditate, you find there's so much hassle just to take care of this body. Okay. So other things, you have to brush the teeth. As a brushing teeth also have to be noted. Washing face, showering. So what else? When you answer the call of nature. So this comes directly from the Buddha in the Satipatthana Sutta. Okay. So in urinating, in defecating, he applies clear comprehension. So when you go to the toilet, don't leave your mindfulness outside the door. Bring it with you inside. Okay, so so even inside the toilet also, you must continuously practice the Dhamma. Okay, practice Satipatthana Dhamma. Yesterday, Venerable Vivekananda here asked me, can we read Dhamma books in the toilet? So, of course, you cannot. It's very disrespectful to read Dhamma books inside the toilet. But it is not disrespectful to practice the Dhamma. It is, in fact, the instruction of the Buddha that you must practice the Dhamma, even when you go in the toilet. You can attain enlightenment also, even as you are doing your business. So far, all the texts that I've read, I've not come across a single case yet where it is recorded that anybody attained enlightenment while in the toilet. So if you do so, please report. And you'll go down in history as the first one. First in recorded history to attain enlightenment. Then we'll call you maybe the toilet arahant. So even in answering the call of nature also, it must be carried out with mindfulness and clear comprehension. Okay? When you are chanting also, chanting, you take the precepts, or sometimes we do metta chanting. So chanting also, you must keep to mindfulness and clear comprehension. So of course, when you chant also, part of your attention have to go to the meaning of the chanting. So, but if you have been meditating steadily, continuously throughout the day, so there's a continuity in your noting. So even when you do chanting, so when you chant, when you actually chant, your mindfulness is on the meaning of the words. Okay, but the moment you stop chanting, because of the momentum that you have built up, and the momentum of noting that you have built up, the moment you stop chanting, your mindfulness immediately go back to your body. You can pick up immediately. And then when you want to chant again, then you can be aware the body taking a breath, filling up the air in the lungs. You can feel the wind element pushing out, and then intention to chant, and then you can feel the air being pressed out, and then the throat start to vibrate, and then how you form the words in your mouth with your tongue, and so on. You can be aware of all that, and then the words come out. So all this you can be aware if you are noting continuously. Okay. Yeah. So idea is to note continuously to build up the momentum. Then you find that you'll be able to pick up because of the momentum of the noting. You can pick up one activity after another by itself quite easily. Okay? In the beginning, it's not so easy when you still haven't built up the momentum. Then you really have to exert the effort to note. So in stretching, you have to really make sure you note. And because it's not automatic yet, the momentum is not there yet, so you have to exert to note. Stretching, bending, so every single activity. Okay, so but once you get the momentum going in your mindfulness or daily activities, you just pick up one after another by itself. Okay? Then your action becomes very natural, no longer like a robot. In the beginning, when you have to exert a bit, it's really sometimes it can become like a robot. So once you get smooth, you just do your activity. Of course, you slow down, but you still do your activity as normal. There's a smooth flow in your physical activity, but the mind is observing very carefully every single action that's occurring in the body as well as in the mind, all the intention that is occurring. Okay? So even during chanting also, you must apply mindfulness and clear comprehension. Interview also. So sometimes some yogis come here interview. This is let's go have a chit chat with Bhante. Interview time. No, interview time is actually a very serious time. It is discussion of Dhamma. So you are discussing your practice of the Dhamma with the teacher. Okay? So you have to do so with mindfulness and clear comprehension. So when you walk into the interview room, you have to do so with mindfulness and clear comprehension intact. As you walk in, as you sit yourself down, as you do your bowing, so you sustain the continuity of noting. Okay? So throughout, because of this continuous mindfulness, So your mind is kept calm, steady, composed, clear. Then when you start reporting, then you can report clearly. When you start recollect your experience, you can recollect clearly. Because your mind is steady, is calm, is composed, is clear. You can recollect more clearly. And then when you report also with mindfulness and clear comprehension, you can report more clearly, more systematically. You don't jump about here and there. So some yogis are reporting sitting meditation, suddenly end up talking about walking meditation. Then after that, talk about some daily activity. Then, okay, now back to sitting meditation. So sometimes go back to last year's retreat. So very unsystematically, the report is all over the place. Then we don't get a clear idea, a clear picture of your practice. So if you can keep your mind calm, steady, composed, clear, because of the continuous noting, so then you can report more systematically, more clearly, more to the point. You don't add in unnecessary things that does not relate to your practice. So you don't add in, you just report what is relevant to the practice, what can, in a way that reflects clearly your practice, you can report clearly. Okay. So you have to be very restrained when you come in to do your interview. So here we are more relaxed when we do the interview. I even ask you to sit comfortably. When you go to Burma, you don't do that. You go in, even when you go in, you have to put your palms together. You walk inside, you do the bowing, and your report also, you must put your palms together. So you start to gesture a lot, the sayadaw say, don't gesture. So you have to report very still like that. So you have to describe very clearly. You cannot use your hand like that, like that, like that, like that. So interview also. Mindfulness, clear comprehension. Even when you're lying down on the bed, as we mentioned before, a yogi, when he go to bed at night, when he lie down on the bed not with the intention to fall asleep. The intention to continue meditation in the lying posture. So you continue to meditate until when you really become tired, really tired, then you naturally fall asleep. Then you can even watch the mind, watch until the last moment before it shut down. Also wake up with mindfulness. So so you can fall asleep with mindfulness, clear comprehension. So you can also wake up with mindfulness and clear comprehension. The moment you wake up, even before you open your eyes, you're already aware, awakening. So there are so many other activities. Okay, so even very minor activities like blinking the eyes. You blink your eyes, do you know? So when you turn your head, do you know? When you fold your arms, do you know? When you cough, when you sneeze, do you know? So sneezing is to not sneezing, the continuity of mindfulness must be there. If we are not continuous, because it comes so suddenly, so you're not ready for it. It comes, it just comes. So you have to be very alert. The moment it comes, then you're not ready. So if you are not ready, there's no continuity of mindfulness, you are not alert, when it comes, you, then what happened? So, but if you are alert, you are continuously noting, then when it comes, you can feel the feeling, the irritation somewhere in the nose. Then you feel the reaction. Then suddenly you draw in the breath. The chest fill up. There's a compression, and then you push out the air, and then it's kind of like hit the voice box very hard, and then it gushes out, and then the sound explodes. So all this you can note. So, but only you can only note if you are continuously mindful. So every single minor activities should be noted. Okay. Yeah. So it's not easy. So in the beginning you miss out a lot. Okay. So you have to be very determined. So I usually tell yogis to you start simple first. You try to note every single activities, but you pay attention. You pick a few activities that you do a lot. Sitting down, getting out, opening, closing the door. Just pick a few first, and then when you come to that few activities, you pay particular attention. You do it very, very well. Slow down, observe very carefully. So others also you note, but when it comes to these few activities, you pay special attention. So once you can do them well, then slowly you add in more activity, until finally you cover every activity. So the idea is you build up the continuous noting so that you don't miss anything. Okay? So there's this story in the commentary. I don't remember exactly the story, as I've told you before. I'm very bad at remembering stories. So I remember in the commentary they talk about this Thera and these elders in the old days. So I think it was in Sri Lanka. So he has been practicing this mindfulness, clear comprehension for a very, very long time, many, many years. In the commentary, when they talk about the monks practicing in those days, they talk about them practicing for many, many years, 20, 30 years of striving, non-stop. Here you ask your 1 month, oh, very good already. So this monk, these elders, they have been practicing for so long. So he strive to be mindful continuously in all his activities. Okay? Then happened one day, a group of his students came to visit him, to pay respect, to talk to him. So now, as he was sitting there talking to them, they saw him doing something strange. They saw him like bending his arm, and then after that he paused for a while, and then he put his arm back there, and then he bent again. So they asked him, why do you do this? Why so strange? So he told them, I've been practicing this mindfulness, clear comprehension continuously for so long. Okay? But today I sit here talking with y'all. Then just now when I bend my arms, I do so without noting. Then I realize it. So I put it back again, and then I bend it again, this time with mindfulness and clear comprehension. So to this extent, the ancient elders, they practice. So they are aware when they are, because they note continuously. So even when you note continuously, when you are not aware, when there is a lapse in the mindfulness, you also know immediately. So to this extent, they practice. Okay. So there's also there's a group of monks. So their practice was that when they go for alms round, so they walk with mindfulness, clear comprehension. So if, let's say, one of the monks, they in the queue, as they are walking, unwholesome thought arise. So then he will stop to note. So when he stopped to note, the monks behind him know, this venerable, he has unwholesome thoughts. So he has to quickly note very diligently to dispel so that he can walk again. But it says that if, let's say, he cannot dispel it while standing, then he will stand aside to note. Then when he stand aside, all the monks behind him also stand aside. And then if he cannot dispel it while he was standing aside, he will sit down. And then all the monks behind him also will sit down together with him until he's able to dispel the thought, the unwholesome thought. And then only he get out and continue. Then the other monks will follow him. So to this extent, they practice this mindfulness in daily activities. There's another monk. He did something similar to the first monk. When he go for alms round, so he walk, and then he realized that he has lost his mindfulness. Then he traced back. At which point did I lose my mindfulness? Then he said, "Oh, over there." Then he will go back to the spot, and then he'll walk again. So the villagers saw him. When the villagers saw him, he kept walking back and forth, walking back and forth, back and forth. Then they thought, this Bhante has gone mad. So to that extent, so maybe you should ask the yogi to do so, the same thing also. Then you'll really be very mindful. To know when you lose your mindfulness, then you quickly re-establish the mindfulness. Yeah. So not just physical activities. So mental activities also. So there are a lot of mental activities that occur during the meditation, daily activities. So most common one, of course, is intention. So there are so many intention that can arise. Okay, so it's like intention here, intention there. So if you're really mindful of intention is like popping up here and there, pop, 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 one after another. So, so to really catch intention, you have to, your mind really have to be very clear, very sharp, very sensitive, very alert. And it goes without saying, all this comes with the continuity of noting. Okay, you really have to be very sensitive because intention is something very subtle. Okay? When it arises, it's often very subtle. And it just comes suddenly. It's an impulsion. Impulsion it swells up from deep in the mind. So it's like an undercurrent that comes up from deep within the mind. And it just pops out. It moves the mind. It's impulsion. It moves the mind. Do this, do that. So you have to be very sensitive, very alert to catch it. Okay, it just comes. Then you have to be aware. Okay. So many yogis they cannot catch intention, so they stand there waiting for intention to come. That's not how to catch the intention. Okay. So intention, as you are going about your daily activities, even when you are doing walking meditation, intention just come by itself. Okay. So all you need to do is be alert, so that when it pops up, immediately you are aware, intention. Okay, so you don't have to wait. Some yogis wait until you cannot wait anymore. Then they use the label intention, and then say, yeah, I know intention already. So that's not how to know intention. You see, when you want to walk, for example, you're standing. When you stand long enough, there's an impulsion in the mind urging you, hey, start walking. Why stand so long? Start walking. It just pops up. So when you're alert, then you can feel the urge in the mind. Then you feel immediately the intention arises, then the movement follow. So you can catch the intention, you can catch the movement. Okay. So intention, a lot of desire also in daily activities. Desire to look, desire to hear, desire to touch. So, and then things like thinking, planning, worrying, states of mind, happiness, unhappiness, joy, feeling depressed, feeling bored. So all this state of mind may arise. So you're noting continuously. You can be aware as they arise. You can catch them. You may even be able to discern they disappear. Okay? So all this physical as well as mental activities, they should be carried out, or they should you should observe them as they occur with mindfulness and clear comprehension. So they are part of our meditation. Okay, meditation is not just sitting and walking, right? So all this meditation and all these activities, they are also part of the development of our meditation during an intensive retreat. Okay, so you should not take them lightly. Okay? You should not take this meditation of daily activities lightly. You should not underestimate their value, because they can help to not only to sustain the continuity of the mindfulness. As we say, you cannot meditate continuously in sitting and walking, right? So in between, so you have to do all these activities. So if you don't meditate on them, then all your effort that goes into building up the continuity of mindfulness in sitting and in walking goes to waste. So because you don't sustain them continuously throughout your daily activities, then it loses the momentum. So you have to sustain the momentum even during the daily activities, so that the noting mind can build up the momentum, build up the strength, so that the mindfulness develops, so that the concentration is established, so that you can arouse clear knowledge into the nature of the object that is noted. So besides helping to sustain the continuity of mindfulness, to build up the strength and momentum of the noting mind, so clear insight can often also arise during meditation on daily activities. Okay, so even the attainment of arahantship is possible, as we mentioned the example of Venerable Ananda the other day, on the eve of the first Buddhist Council. So after striving the whole night doing walking meditation, then he decided to lie down. So as he was lying down, he was noting. That was meditation in daily activities. Okay, then as he was lying down, he attained arahantship. So So don't underestimate the value of this meditation in daily activities. Yeah. Now, as you carrying out this meditation in daily activities, so it is necessary to slow down all your physical activities. You have to do everything in slow motion. Okay, slow motion. You cannot don't carry out your activities in the usual pace that you normally do outside of a retreat. Okay, you have to slow down so that you are able to observe clearly the momentary process of the mental physical phenomena that are taking place as all these activities are occurring. Okay, so you have to really slow down. Okay, but slowing down is only part of it. Okay, slow down. You also have to observe carefully. Okay, so there's no point slowing down but you don't observe. Then you are just you are not meditating. You are just moving very slowly. Okay, so you slow down and then you observe carefully. Then you are meditating on the daily activities. Okay, so yeah, so yeah, sometimes some beginners they don't grasp the instruction properly. So they only hear the teacher say, you must slow down. So, okay, slow down. Then when they go to the meditation hall, they see everybody so slow. So they also slow. So, but they forgot to note. So sometimes some of them are very competitive. So they see, this one, he take half an hour to walk from one end to the other end. I must be slower. So he take 1 hour to walk from one end to the other. But he do not note. So when these two yogis come, one with noting, one without noting, so you ask the one who do noting, report your walking meditation. Or you can report very detailed what happened as the foot presses on the ground, as it lifts up. So moment by moment, you can report what happened, what sensation arises. So you can report everything very clearly, even the intention. Then the other yogi who take 1 hour to walk from one end to the other. You can walk very slow. So what do you observe? Just walking, right, left. So, yeah. So that is just an exercise in walking slowly. So you have to slow down and make sure that you observe really very carefully. Otherwise, you won't be able to discern clearly the mental physical process that's going on. Okay? So take for example, when you open the door. So every day you open the door. Don't know how many times in a day you open the door. Okay? So in a retreat, you're supposed to note. So you're walking towards the door. So you're supposed to be walking with mindfulness, clear comprehension. So you're noting right step, left step, right step, left step, paying careful attention to each step as it occurs. And then as you come near enough to the door, so automatically, if you are paying careful attention enough, if you are alert enough, you are sensitive enough, you feel an impulsion suddenly appear in the mind to reach for the doorknob, right? So if you are not meditating continuously, then you won't. If your mind is not alert enough, not sensitive enough, you may not be able to detect this. So intention you need to detect is there, but often if your mind is not developed enough, not clear enough, not sensitive enough, not alert enough, you miss it. Okay. So your mind, if your mind is watching carefully, moment to moment to moment, so immediately this impulsion arise. You can feel it immediately. Okay? So when you feel it, then you can see its nature. Okay? That's called noting the intention. You can label it also if you want. Intention. But as soon as the impulsion comes, you notice the hand and the arms starts to become firm and start to stretch forward. So you observe this also. So because you are noting continuously, then you see there's intention, and then there's the movement. Immediately there's movement. So then you realize that because of intention, there's a movement. There's a cause and effect. Not only do you discern the nature of intention, the nature of the movement, you also discern the cause and effect. Okay. So there's the nama rupa, right? Intention is nama, the movement is rupa, and then there's the cause effect relationship, the paccaya. So then as you note, you pay continuous attention. So it stretches out. So because you're moving slowly, it stretches out. Then you haven't reached yet, right? You haven't reached the doorknob yet. So then if you're observing carefully enough, you notice another impulsion will arise. Stretch further. Not reach yet. So further, another movement arises. And not reach yet, another impulsion, another movement. And then another impulsion, another movement, another impulsion, another movement. Continuously, it occurs. Okay? So if you're noting continuously, precisely, clearly, your mind is sensitive, is clear, you can pick up the series of intention that precedes the series of movement. One after another is intention, movement, intention, movement, intention, movement. And so what you are observing is the process, the mental, physical process that is occurring even in this simple act of stretching the arm forward. You see? So even in this one simple act of stretching, you can already discern so many things. So many knowledge arises simply by observing this simple act of stretching forward. Right? So there's a clear knowledge of nama, there's clear knowledge of rupa, there's clear knowledge of paccaya, the cause-effect relationship. If your mind is really clear, still, you may even notice the momentary nature of each physical as well as mental nature that arise. You can even discern them arising and disappearing, and then also the nature of impermanent, suffering, and non-self. And all this comes from this simple act of continuous discerning of the moment-to-moment occurrence of this mental physical process. So many Yogis, especially the beginners, think, so boring. It's stretching, stretch lah. Why you go and know that stretching, so boring. So now you know. So you can learn a lot if you really carry out your practice properly. And as the late Sayadaw Kundala always instructed us, if you practice respectfully. So he always instruct us, you must practice respectfully. Okay? Not respectfully, because these are the dhammas that is arising within you. So this is what we mean by taking refuge in the Dhamma. Buddha talked about taking refuge in the Dhamma. Be an island unto yourself, a refuge unto yourself with no other refuge. With the Dhamma as island, Dhamma as your refuge, with no other refuge. So this is what the Buddha meant. Okay? The practice of Satipatthana, the continuous Anupassana, noting moment by moment by moment. So you are observing the unfolding of the Dhamma, unfolding of the nature of the Dhamma, even in this simple act of stretching. Okay? Not just stretching, every single other activities that you observe. Even just opening the eyes, or even blinking the eyes, or even just turning the head. So if you do it slowly, observe carefully, a lot of clear knowledge, wisdom, insight may arise. Okay? So after you stretch forward, then when the fingers touches the knob, immediately you're aware the experience of touching. You're aware maybe the coldness, the hardness, or the roughness. Then you want to grip on the knob, and again the impulsion arise. You may know the intention, and as soon as the intention arises, you find the fingers start to become firm. It starts to grip on it. That you can feel the sensation, the tightness, the pressure, the increased hardness. Then, so only if you do it very slowly, you can observe like this. If you have no patience, you want to chinchai, go through, rush through, trying to catch the plane, you miss a lot of things. So you have to really be very patient. So I know that in Chamye Center, last time I heard that there's a yogi who took, I think, 2 or 3 hours to eat a meal. So he take his time, really noting every single movement, every single act involved in the process of eating. Of course, the kitchen people wasn't very happy. So, but the Sayadaw said, leave him be, let him meditate. So if you really do it properly, then you come to know. So the finger gripping, then you want to turn, the impulsion arises, you want to turn. So intention, then you start to feel the wrist turning. Then you feel the sensation again, the fingers in the wrist, the tightness, and so on. Then you want to push, intention to push, and then pushing. Again, observe carefully, you can observe clearly the series of intention, the series of pushing. So that is just for opening the door. Okay? That's how you're supposed to carry out every single activity. Okay? How you're supposed to note every single activity. So, due to the, various activities that occur. So during the meditation on daily activities, there are so many activities that occur. And the yogis are also interacting very actively with the surrounding. And all your senses are open, especially your eyes. And once your eyes is open, your other senses also tend to be open. When you're sitting, your eyes is closed, your attention tends to be focused inside. Even you hear also, often you ignore, right? Once your eyes is open, you hear also, you want to turn and look. You see, so there are so many distractions all around. Okay, you see something, suddenly you become curious. What is that? So your mosquito fly by also. Hey, what is that? So when you hear others talking, so you start to become curious. The Kepo mind, busybody, what are they talking? So when you see another person doing things, he's doing things wrongly, not this way. Then you feel the urge, I must teach him how to do. You see how this busybody mind comes along. So if you are not careful to restrain yourself, to restrain the mind, it can throw you off the track of meditation. Okay? So that's why in meditation on daily activities, the yogi needs to exercise a lot of restraint, restraint of the mind, especially restraint of the senses, seeing, of hearing, of smelling, of tasting, touching, even the mind also must be restrained. Otherwise, you go on the train of thoughts. The moment you see something, you go on the train of thought. You hear something, you go on the train of thought. So the mind also must be guarded. Okay? So in the Theravada, there's the verse of Venerable Mahakachayana, where he gave this advice in a very short verse. He gave this advice, the yogi who is meditating, so as not to be easily distracted, especially when you're doing meditation of daily activities. Okay, so that is a time when you need to be extra vigilant. So we really, so that's why when you're meditating in the daily activities, just like when you do sitting and walking, you have to keep your focus inside. Don't let the mind stray outside. That's why you say your eyes look down. Don't look up. Don't look left. Don't look right. Look down. So even you see also, act as if you don't see. That's the advice that Venerable Mahakachayana gave. It says, Chakumasa yatha ando. Okay? So Chakuma, one with eyes. So even if you have eyes to see, so you should behave as if you are blind. So behave as if you are blind. Okay? So that means as much as possible, you ignore. First of all, your eyes should be down. Don't look up. Okay? Even if you see also, you ignore. You keep your attention inside. Okay? You know, if you really keep your attention inside, when you are doing walking meditation, especially when you are noting the 2 phase and the 3 phase, or even more phase. So you're keeping your whole attention just on the foot, even if your eyes is open. So even you see, but your vision is actually very blurred. So things are very indistinct because your whole attention is on your foot. Okay? That's what we mean, keep your attention inside. So as much as possible, In the daily activities, you must also keep your attention inside. So even you see something, act as if you don't see, act as if you are blind. Okay? So if the desire to see arise, you must immediately note. Desire, desire, desire. Note with wholehearted attention. Put all the effort into noting the desire. Then the desire will disappear. Okay? Desire disappear, then you don't want to look anymore. Right? So even if the desire is very strong, you have to restrain yourself from acting on it. I want to look, no. So if you're really mindful, you don't have to pull the mind back like this. Okay? Just being mindful itself, the desire will disappear. So, yeah. So just note desire to see, okay, and should you actually see, then you must not seeing, okay. So when you're not seeing, you must stop right there, just with the seeing, just with the bare experience of seeing. That's what the Buddha meant in the Bahaya Sutta. The Buddha says, "Ditte ditta matam bhavisati." So in what is sin, there will only be what is sin. So in what is sin, there will be only what is sin. So when the yogi sees, he will not seeing. So he stopped right there with the bare experience of seeing. That's what it means. In what is sin, there's only what is sin. Okay. So what is sin really is just colors. So if you are really very mindful in the moment when you see something and you're not seeing, so you don't dwell into the detail of what it is. You stop there at the bare seeing of the colors. Okay, so you don't go on to define what it is. Oh, this is a man, this is a woman. The face is like this. The nose is crooked. So the ears is short, and so on. So it stops right there at the bare experience of seeing. Okay, it doesn't go and dwell into the detail and interpret it. Okay, so it stop right there, right in the present with the bare experience of seeing, and doesn't go beyond that. If you go beyond that, it starts to dwell into the detail. And then if you like what you see, then attachment may arise. You don't like what you see, anger may arise. But you just stop there, seeing, the mind remain pure. Then you can see the nature of the bare experience that arises. Okay, right in the present moment. Yeah. So chakumasa yatha ando. Even though you have eyes to see, you should act as if you are blind. Okay. Then sotawa badiro yatha. So even though you have ears, you should behave as if you are deaf. So you hear somebody talking there, hearing, that's all, finish. Just the bare experience of hearing. Okay? So that's called sutte suttamatam bhavisati. In what is heard, there will be only what is heard. What is heard is just bare sound. If you are really noting continuously, keeping your mind always in the present moment, when you hear something, when you hear somebody talking to you, all you hear is just one sound after another. And the sound has no meaning. One sound has no meaning, right? So let's say, Venerable Vivekananda meditating, very mindful. So I call out to him, Vivekananda. So he's nothing, hearing. All he hears is we and then disappear. We and disappear. Ka and disappear. So he continue hearing. He won't know that I'm calling him, because all he sees is one sound arising, disappearing, another arising, disappearing, another. So that is called, in what is heard, and there will be only what is heard, just the best sound in the moment, and then that's it, finish, and then another experience, another sound, and then another sound. So it's as if you don't hear anything. So that's what the instruction here says. Even though you have ears, you should behave as if you're deaf. You don't hear anything. All you hear is just this meaningless sound, one after another. So, and then the Panyawasa Yatha Mugo. This means that even though you have a lot of knowledge, so you should behave as if you're dumb, you're stupid. People who have a lot of knowledge, usually they are very busybody. They see people doing things, not like this, wrong. I know a better way to do this. They don't want to teach you. So these people, when they come for meditation, are very difficult. They cannot control themselves. They see Sister Sam in the kitchen cooking. They must go and tell, not like this, not like this. Cut. Then Sister Sam chase him out. Then you get angry. So it says here, even though you have a lot of knowledge, you should behave as if you are dumb, you're stupid. So stupid people don't usually go and interfere with other people. They keep to themselves. Then they're happy in this way, you see. So yogis should behave in this way. Also, you try to show your knowledge too much. Sometimes the teacher don't want to teach you. This one too clever, I don't want to teach. Sometimes, like in the Zen tradition, they say the cup is already full. So you want to learn, you have to empty your cup. So behave like you are dumb, stupid, you have no knowledge. Then you can learn. Then the teacher will be willing to teach you to fill your cup. Otherwise, fill in or pour out. So why waste time? Then the last one we'll talk about, Balawa Dubalo Riva. This means even though you're strong, you have a lot of strength, you should behave as if you're very weak. The weak people, they move very slowly. So no strength. So yogis also must move very slowly. Like they are a weak person, like a sick person very weak, no strength. So they move very slowly. So you want to take one step also very difficult to drag the foot. So you must move like this. Okay? So this is the advice. So even though you have eyes to see, you must behave as if you are blind. Even though you can hear, you have ears to hear, you must behave as if you are deaf. Okay? Even though you have a lot of knowledge, you must behave as if you are stupid. Even though you are strong, you must behave as if you are weak. And finally he says, Atta ate samupane sayeta matasayikanti. Okay? So this means that, so when you do this, when you practice like this, then when the goal has been attained, one may lie upon one's deathbed. Okay? So when you practice like this, your mind is undistracted by anything. You can focus your wholehearted attention into each moment of noting. You can note continuously. You can build up your practice quickly. then you can quickly arrive at the goal of the practice, which is Nibbana. Right? So when you attain Nibbana, then it says you may lie down on your deathbed. That means you can lie down confidently. You don't fear. You don't have fear. Okay? And those unenlightened beings, they fear death. But those who are enlightened, who have awakened to the truth, they do not fear death. Okay? They know that they are now secure from the suffering in samsara. That when they pass away, the arahants, when they pass away, they know they will finally lay down the burden of the aggregates completely. Attain parinibbana, complete nibbana, complete freedom from suffering. Okay, so we have covered all the 3 parts of the meditation retreat: walking, sitting, meditation, as well as the meditation on daily activities. Okay, so you're supposed to meditate continuously throughout the day. So the purpose of these 3 parts of the retreat is so that you are able to keep you meditating continuously. From the first moment you wake up right until the moment you fall asleep at night. You meditate continuously. You develop your practice continuously, moment after moment after moment. You note with energy, with precision, with clarity and mindfulness. Okay, so in this way, you develop and strengthen the noting mind continuously throughout the day. So you build up the mindfulness, the concentration, the clarity of clear knowledge. Okay? So by exerting the mind to note continuously in this way throughout the day. So, and by developing the noting mind in this way, so you're actually developing satipatthana, the mindfulness that is firmly established in this continuous, clear, energetic focus, noting of the nature of the mental, physical phenomena that's occurring moment after moment. Okay? Yeah. And what are the benefits of the practice of satipatthana? So we have already mentioned what the Buddha mentioned at the beginning of the Satipatthana Sutta, the 7 benefits for the purification of the mind, or the overcoming of sorrow, or lamentation, or the disappearance of pain and grief, for arriving at the noble path, for the realization of Nibbana. Okay? So basically, this means the benefit of Satipatthana is the complete freedom from suffering in samsara. Okay? All right, so we stop here today. So first question. Excuse me. When one urinates, can one chant Buddha, Buddha? When showering, can one do chanting? Yeah, so maybe use another labeling is better. Buddha. So use another label. So Buddha relates to the Buddha doesn't seem very respectful. Although you should be noting, you should be practicing the Dhamma, noting. Maybe use another label. So, when you're showering, can one do chanting? In shower, just be aware of the showering. So the water, as the water touches, you can feel the coolness. You can not cool. And you feel the flowing sensation. You can not flowing. So when you move your hands to clean yourself, so you should note all this movement as they occur. Okay. That's not the time to do chanting. Yeah. When reading Dhamma books during meditation retreat, how does one carry out continuous meditation? You are not supposed to read books during a meditation retreat. Okay? You are supposed to meditate continuously throughout the day. That's why it's called intensive meditation retreat. Okay? So you can do all your reading after the retreat, but during the retreat, so that is a time when you come for intensive meditation. You should focus all your wholehearted attention just on meditation. When one takes shower, should one continue to note or chant Buddha, Buddha? Is this disrespectful? I think I already answered this question. Can you explain or clarify the following? I let my rise and fall disappear before I start the next cycle of rise and fall. This keeps repeating until a more prominent object emerges. As for pain, I do the same thing with the pain until it disappears before a more prominent object arises. Okay, if you can note until it disappears before another object arises, then well and good. Okay? So this also shows that there's some clarity in the noting, that you can actually note the object until it disappears before the next object arises. Okay, so in the beginning stage of development of the practice, you find that the yogi may find that when he note one object, he may be aware of it arising, but because at that time when the mind is not clear enough yet, before he can catch the disappearance of the object, another object may arise. And then he has to follow that object. Okay, so like when you're not rising in the beginning, you may see the beginning but not yet the end. And then before you can see the end of the rising, the falling begins. So it's like kind of mix up a little bit at the end there. Okay? But when your mind is really very clear, so you're just noting continuously. When your mind is very clear, you can catch the beginning and the end of each object before the next object comes. Okay? So you can meditate on the same object until the end, then well and good. Okay? So, second question here. During walking, I notice a persistent pain for a long time. What should I do? So if the pain is prominent, it pulls your attention and is persistent, then as we described the other day, you stop. Stop walking, stand there and note the pain. Okay? Note until it either disappears or it how does it become not prominent. Then you can begin the walking again. Okay, then third one, it says the mind suddenly jumps and it becomes clearer. Yeah, so if it jumps, you're not jumping. If it becomes clear, the clarity is very prominent, then you're not clear. Okay, so whatever happened, just note. I give a maximum of 5 notings for internal hearing before it disappears. Yeah. So. So if you, so as long as internal hearing. Is it like the sound in the ear? Yeah. So anyway, so once you As you note it and you find it already disappear, then you can stop noting. So if it's 5 noting, then it's 5 noting. If 6 noting, then 6 noting. So, but as long as it continue and is prominent, then you can continue to note. Okay. This is a very long question. It says, one day before going to bed, I normally meditate a short while. I monitor the intention to go to bed. Normally, I fall asleep quickly, within 1 or 2 seconds. Oh, wonderful. So, however, last night, all of a sudden a jerk, then vibration in my mind, then a map appear. Normally, when this happens, it will be an earthquake. But it is only a jerk. I knew the earthquake is far away. Sure enough, there was an earthquake this morning in southern Sumatra. If it is a strong earthquake, I will get a sharp pain in my right ear. In both ears, the intensity of the earthquake will be very near and strong. How should I deal with this sort of premonition? So, yeah. Wow. I think a lot of people will want to see you. Those who live in earthquake-prone area. So, yeah, in Vipassana, when we talk about Vipassana, we don't give so much importance to all this. Okay, we just note it as they are. Okay, if you feel a vibration, you note vibration. If you feel a jerk, you just note jerk. We don't interpret our experience. Okay, we experience them. We note them as they are. The bare experience without any interpretation. Okay? Yeah. So that's why I ask you to note in the present moment. Okay? So in the present moment, how fast is the present moment? How fast is the present moment? You see, you hear the chime. I don't know if you all can hear. The chime, and then where is it? No more. Right? That's how fast. You see here. Where's the sound now? No more. No more. That's how fast. It's the present moment. Do you have time to think or not? To interpret? So there's no time. You only have time to note clearly in that moment, to experience it clearly. That's all. That is gone. You don't have time to think, to interpret. So that's what we do in Vipassana. That's why we keep the mind in the present moment, in the bare experience. Because it's in that present moment, in the bare experience, without stripped of any interpretation, any subjective interpretation, that we see clearly, discern clearly the true nature of the metaphysical phenomena as they are. Okay, so we don't give any importance to such experience. We simply ask the yogi to note them as they are. Okay. Yeah, in Malaysia we don't have earthquake yet. One day we have earthquake, then we have to contact you. Whether you have any dreams or not last night. Yeah. So, by the way, no cold sweat. I slept very well last night. No dreams, but check the news around 10 a.m. Sure enough, there were 2 earthquakes. Oh, yeah, in Penang. Okay. So nearby Sumatra. Okay. So that's all the questions that we have today. Okay, let's stop here today. Imaya Dhamma nu Dhamma Patipatiya Buddham Pujemi Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Dhammam Pujemi Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Sangham Pujemi Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Mata Pitunam Pujemi Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiya Acariyanam Pujemi Adha Imaya Patipadaya Jara Maranamha Rimocesami Idame Punyam Asawakaya Waham Hodu Idame Punyam Nibbanasa Pajayo Hodu Idame Silam Magaphalanyanasa Pajayo Hodu Imam no Punya Bhagam Sabbasatanam Dema Imam no Punya Bhagam Sabbasatanam Dema Imam no Punya Bhagam Sabbasatanam Dema Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. So may all of you be well, happy and peaceful always. May you all be safe, be healthy, be strong. May you all be able to practice the Dhamma continuously without any trouble, without any obstacle. May you be able to practice smoothly, and may you be able to experience the unconditioned peace of Nibbana through your practice of the Dhamma.